Listen. We're in the Champions League. We're in the Champions League. Finishing top 3. We're in the Champions League. Where's Liverpool? Not there. Where's Chelsea? Not there. Where's Spurs? Not there. Oh my God! You're not going blind.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Johnny here checking in for the United View, the match report of the Bayern Munich versus Manchester United game at the Allianz Arena as Manchester United start their Champions League campaign with a defeat, a 4-3 defeat. And I promise you guys, I'm going to try my best to end this video on a note of positivity, because it's really tough as somebody with the name Good Vibes John to promote positivity when things aren't looking good. But I also don't fake that stuff. I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys whenever I can. And let's address the problems right now that Manchester United are facing, because there are problems and it's something that's concerning to me. I'm going to promise you guys I'm going to end on positivity, but first let's talk about this match, because Manchester United, this performance against Bayern Munich, this performance against Brighton, the performance in overall this season, it's been the story of the same so far. We start our game so brightly. In the opening 15, 20 minutes or so, Manchester United looks sharp, energetic. The way we transition through the thirds, our build-up, all of it looks so good. We get to the final third, and we just can't convert those chances to goals. And unfortunately for Manchester United, against Brighton, against Bayern Munich, same story. We allow our opposition to regain momentum, and they score. Whether it be through an individual error from Manchester United or a team error, they score. Let's talk a little bit about the error, because Andre Onana, fair play to him, the error was an absolute stinker. You expect a little bit more for a goalkeeper of his quality and caliber, and it's not just about his distribution. His shot stopping is decent. That one just looked completely shocking, and unfortunately for Andre Onana, that really took a toll on him, because he looked shell-shocked for that first half. He kind of gathered himself again towards the second half and made some good saves, but that error from him nonetheless was a stinker. But fair play to him, because post-match he came out and raised his hand and said the words "my bad," because he owned up to his responsibility and said that was his fault. And I'm going to give it to him. Errors will always happen. My problem is more so about how Manchester United react post conceding a goal. We have plenty of winners in this squad. We have so many winners. We have experienced players. But the way Man United's players' heads drop, the way their shoulders drop, the way we look so dejected and deflated after conceding, those are not winners. And that's the only part that really, truly frustrates me. And that needs to be remediated ASAP. When you have winners like Casemiro, when you have winners like Rafael Varane, even, although he wasn't involved today, Casemiro, Christian Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, all of these guys are serious ballers. When we go down, we have to rally the troops. And Man United this season have not been able to do that. We've looked shell-shocked, and that's something that needs improving ASAP without exception or question. We can't use any excuses for that. Let's talk a little bit about our midfield, because I have to feel for Erik ten Hag. The injuries are not his fault. The selection is not his fault. I promise you, if we had Sofyan Amrabat, if we had Mason Mount, hell, even if we had Kobbie Mainoo, who had a fantastic preseason, I promise you this squad, this team today would have been a different team, and those three aforementioned players would have made a difference in today's game. I promise you that. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Football goes on, as with things in life, and we had to make do with what we could. Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Christian Eriksen. That midfield three of an average age of 29 just isn't going to be balanced enough. The way Bayern Munich were waltzing through our midfield, Musiala, who had a phenomenal game, Leroy Sané, Leon Goretzka, Serge Gnabry, even Harry Kane. They looked unfazed. They didn't even look like they got out of second gear, especially when transitioning through midfield. There was a moment in that game where Kim Min-jae, who I really didn't think had much to do, he took the ball and he waltzed through. It looked like somebody put on Swan Lake. My man was just waltzed through, no pressure, no nothing. And in a matter of a few seconds, he was standing in the middle of the pitch, and it wasn't even a techie pass, just a side-footed pass connects the ball to Leroy Sané, who's standing in front of our 18-yard box. Manchester United have to weave 40 passages of play to try and get into the 18-yard box. The way Bayern Munich waltzed through our midfield, that was unacceptable. And unfortunately, as much as you guys know how much I freaking love Casemiro and Christian Eriksen, they were phenomenal for us last season. But this season, they aren't the same. And Casemiro, with the qualities that he has, apart from his, midfield industriousness or lack thereof, he makes up for it, like we saw today with the 2 goals that he scored. But Christian Eriksen, I feel like that fall from grace has been a little bit harder. And it hurts for me to say, but it is what it is. The reality of the fact is Christian Eriksen cannot play alongside Casemiro. If we had to pick either one of the two, we need an industrious midfielder, and we are crying out for Sofyan Amrabat to get fit. We need to pray to everybody available to get Sofyan Amrabat fit ASAP so that he can play alongside Casemiro, because I promise you, once he cuts into this squad, once we have Mason Mount, once we have Kobbie Mainoo, things will improve. But for now, what we saw today, it was just literally a lack in industriousness and energy and effort. Scott McTominay, another underwhelming performance from him. I love Scott McTominay as a human being, but for a Manchester United player, I'm sorry, he isn't just cut out. He came on today. We expect him to bring on industry and fresh legs, the bare minimum. What also needs to come on alongside that, in conjunction with the energy, is quality. And there was no quality from Scott McTominay yet again today. And I'm not trying to just blame it on him because overall Manchester United as a whole looked bad. But when you're relying on a midfielder, a younger midfielder, with the physical attributes that he has, when you're relying on him to come on and make a difference, he just could not do it. And unfortunately for Manchester United, it's the story. Again, we sold Fred. I said it the summer. If we sell Fred, it's a good idea only if we offload all of our other players that we just know don't have a future with Man United. We should have sold McTominay for money. We should have sold Harry Maguire and raised those funds to supply Erik ten Hag with more midfielders, more players, because at the end of the day, the competitive nature of football in this day and age, you need more than just a like-for-like switch. We have 6 midfielders, excluding Scott McTominay. You need more than that. And unfortunately, we're facing injury crises across all departments because we just weren't good enough in the summer transfer window. Let's talk about the game. Overall, Man United scoring those goals. It was a weird result because we look dejected and then we score. And we concede and then we score. There are moments of positivity. And let's talk about positivity because Sergio Reguilon and Rasmus Højlund, my guy, Rasmus Højlund, scoring a goal today was phenomenal. Those two players were great because to me, they showed conviction. They looked like they never gave up. And it's not about just running around like headless chickens. It's about showing conviction and desire in the way you're playing. And they continuously put up a fight, showing the fight for the badge. As cheesy as that sounds, they were continuously fighting, and I couldn't be any more happier. And specifically mentioning my guy, Rasmus Højlund, somebody who's been watching my videos. You know, Rasmus, thank you so much. But anyways, Rasmus Højlund scoring his first goal for Manchester United. I couldn't be any more happier for him. He's one of the main reasons that I still have a smile on my face watching Manchester United. He's been phenomenal for us, and I want to see him continue to grow into his role because he's going to be a big, big player for us if he continues to show this kind of example and quality. It needs time to build chemistry with Rashford, with Bruno Fernandes, with the entire squad, and things will be on the up. I promise you guys that. I know it's hard to see that right now, but you guys can bookmark this if you guys ever want to come at me. Bookmark this and get in the comments, and I will put my hands up and say my bad, but I promise you things will get better. Right now, it might get worse before it gets better. Let's be realistic about this. But I promise you things will get better. And I'm going to end on this note of positivity. We just need to look forward. Let's just continuously move on. And hopefully those injured players can return and get involved quickly because sure as hell need them to return ASAP. That's it for me for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the United View. Make sure you drop a like. Comment below. What were your thoughts on today's performance? What were the results? Do you think Erik ten Hag had a bad game as a manager? Do you think the players had bad games today? What do you think? What do you think? Get in the comments. And if you guys enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to my channel at Good Vibes John. That's it for me for today. Thank you so much to the United View for having me. Until next time, see y'all later.